Welcome to another gorgeous day and another day of Dose of Did You Know, where intriguing, unique, inspiring individuals talk love and life and how it has brought them to where they are today. I am your host, Danny Rocco, and with me is the beautiful, famous, intriguing, you never know, Miss Farah. How are you today?
I am really good after that introduction, actually. It's amazing. Thank you. I'm great.
I admire you so much. We were just talking about this before we went on about I don't know how you have, remind me tomorrow. I do not know how you have that drive to push and keep going. And because in the exercise, well, I guess it's not just in your exercise, it ripples into everything that you do. You just have this fire in you.
It's been in me since birth. I had a fiery mother, and I think I got that side, and it was the drive has always been there. So it's just, I don't know. You know what it is? It really comes down to having no fear. Just do what you need to do for you, understand yourself. And if people are watching and looking, then hey, all the better. But you have basically one life here, right? And you make it what you want. So I understand that.
I love that. You're starting this off with some good, deep conversation pieces that we're going to dig into. But before that, tell the world who Farah is. Who are you? What makes you tick? How did you get to right here, right now?
Right here, right now. You know what? I think my real life journey started probably about 6 years ago. And I was that tired, exhausted mother, wife. I have 4 kids ranging from currently age 8 to 22 this week. And a pharmaceutical sales rep, just trucking through the day, typically what people do when they have a career. And I was exhausted. The money was amazing. I barely saw my husband, barely saw my kids. I'd come home, stay up late to do the dishes and be sleeping. So it was just every day.
That's not a sexy life.
It was clockwork, right? It was just and I think a lot of people just think it's routine. That's just life. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I was just tired. I remember grabbing a Starbucks in one of the cities I was at. And I was at 2 o'clock, I should not be this tired.
Yeah.
So, and then I needed a change.
Isn't that funny how we go and we get into this routine, right? And we're well, this just must be it. And then something happens, or whether it's an event that happens, or you just have this moment in your brain that says no.
Yeah.
No,
Starbucks was it for me. I'm oh, this is terrible. It's so good, but terrible at the same time, right? So, I just was I had a family for a reason. I have my own life for a reason. Where did that go? Where did that little girl who loved swimming, who loved doing ballet, who didn't have stress of bills, who, where did that go? And what happened? So I'm just sporadic. I'm a sporadic person. I spilled my coffee on my shirt probably 2 minutes before we landed up on this. So I'm throw this on. Don't know what it looks like. Let's do this. So I'm just always last minute with everything.
I think you wear your emotions here. That passion, it's all right there. You are not going to question if you meet Farah in person what is going on. That's how I
get it. You're gonna get it. I'm gonna do it lovingly, but you're gonna get it. Okay. Right. I don't really have too much to hide here. So
how do you make that change, right? You're here, you're in this job, you're in this career, you've got this mundane life, but it's there, it's normal, it's security because you know what it looks like to do this complete kind of, I would say it's a complete turnaround. It's not it's the same industry.
It was a transition. Number 1, I needed to find my energy level. Number 2, I needed to find my energy well for my family. Number 3, work wasn't my everything. I needed an activity. And so I thought, hey, I used to love swimming. I took, that was high school. I was embarrassed, when you're a girl and your body changes and you don't want to put that bathing suit on anymore. So that was my reason to stop a lot of things when I was younger. And so my energy first, I started doing a lot of research with nutrition. Oh yeah, girl, I found it. I was like, okay, when you biohack into your body of what your body really needs, it's like brain fog lifted. I was like ready. I was driving people crazy. All of a sudden my energy was there and they're like, oh no, you really need to do an activity. You need to do something. So I was like,
you can't keep that energy bottled up. You need to share it with something other than me.
So I started swimming. I contacted a local club here. I was nervous. I was really, really scared for the first day because I'm a female. I've had 4 kids. I got hips. I got stuff hanging out. And I literally walked onto the deck and there was mostly guys and they didn't even look at me.
So wait, go back.
What's that?
What did you join? Because it's not like it sounds like you joined I'm going to go to a place that has a pool and go in and swim. Did you join like a class, a team?
Oh no, I was going. I Googled. Well, actually, my girlfriend told me about. She was swimming. It's called the Woodstock Triathlon Club. Triathlon. I didn't even know what that was. So whatever. So I'm just like, oh, you swim? Okay, cool. So I signed up, jumped on deck. Nobody noticed me. I jumped in the water, did what the coach said, and got out. I was like, are you serious? I waited like 20 years to not do this.
Yeah.
So it was so refreshing to get back into swimming. And then I started running.
I think you could like back up that bus like 2 seconds here because you joined a triathlon or a triathlete, whatever the
triathlon
word
club.
Is. Club. Yeah. So okay. So not a big deal.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. I'm just going to
go. I'm all in. I'm all in. I had the split second of fear with the bathing suit, but I was like, whatever, I got to do this for me. Like there comes a point when you're just like, this is enough. I just need to do what I got to do. So
keep going. I'm loving the story. Keep going.
Yeah. So anyway, then it was in the middle. I'm in Canada.
Yes.
We have some cold winters here. Let me tell you. And I started running in the middle of winter, didn't even run since probably grade school. Like, when we do those, not even track days, I don't know. Yeah. And that was crazy. I was like, oh, I get to go shopping anyways, buy new shoes, whatever, gloves. And because now I'm part of a triathlon club, I think they do that. So
you got to do something else. There's something else besides swimming.
So my coach was like, hey, cycling starting up. Why don't you join us? I'm like, I have a beach cruiser bike with 1 gear. Never rode in my life. Really? He's like, oh, just do it. I'm like, okay. You always do what the coach says. Okay. You don't argue. So I was like, all right. So that year, oh wow, I trained probably for a good 6 to 8 months, just rotating. We do something every day. And I signed up for races. I was like, oh, I could do this. And that year I podiumed probably about 3 times and did over 10 races.
Wow.
I was okay with it. Let's just say that.
Yeah, not a bad gig for your first time out. Not a bad, reaping the rewards. How did your family handle all of this?
Well,
they're loving you getting your energy out now, I'm sure.
Okay, so this was the thing too. I knew that I didn't want to affect family life. I didn't want to affect work life at the time. So I literally would wake up before they would go to school. So I was up at I was at the pool at 6 a.m. I'd get home exactly at 8 to put them on the bus that I'd take off work. And then, I'd come home after 8 o'clock. Before 8 and after 8 was my training sessions. So I never, really dipped into the family time. It was good. Obviously at this point, I am putting in a lot more hours and it's getting a little bit more difficult. But you know what? They understand this is me, as part of me. Mm-hmm. And mama to be happy, I got to do this. So I said, my contract came up for my pharmaceutical contract and I said, no. I said, I'm done. That was just like a leap in the dark. It was just like, it just needed to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did join a network marketing company, and it was nutrition focused, which was amazing.
Okay, so I have to tell you a little side secret note that I didn't tell you and I didn't realize till I started snooping on you. Okay, so everybody, we are connected through the 1 Mile, leadership project, which we'll talk about. And this is why she's going crazy training. Well, she's always done that, but there's something coming up here. So I am part of that same nutritional company. And I have seen your name and heard your name. So when I first saw it, like in the group, and that you're part of this team, I'm on the documentary side, you're on the athletic side. I was like, God, I know that name. Well, it just must be one of those names and just one of those faces. And then I looked up, I'm like, no shit.
Oh, wow.
My God, you were on those big posters at all of those like conventions. And funny.
Wow, look at this.
Small world, right?
I didn't know. Wow. Yes. So I did excel. Yes. With the company. Yeah. It was just meshed, right? My lifestyle, going into it and all that stuff. So it was just perfect. Obviously it wasn't a pharmaceutical pay, but I'm like, when you just feel like you just fit in and it's a place that you need to be a part, it's just part of your life at that moment. So that's what it was. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. That's so funny. We probably met each other before we imagine.
She's actually famous, everybody. You don't know that, but she's famous in multiple ways. But there is something that is healing and changing when you take the what is it that I'm trying to say? When you don't place so much on the money and you place more energy on your happiness and what you're pulled to and drawn to, life changes. And I don't know, I can never say, I would never go back to like the $1 million when my life is miserable and I'm so sad inside. It's just not, it's not worth it. And I'm not saying like life is always peaches and cream. We struggle and we evolve. But man, when you find that passion and that drive, your energy changes.
It's something. And it needs to happen for everybody, honestly, like just to sit and cry and just, that alarm, if that alarm's driving you nuts, and you're just like slugging through the day and just because of money, guess what? You're never going to have enough.
Yeah.
So you're never going to have enough, but you can have happiness, right? So let's see. And you know what? Forget everybody who's watching you. That's the thing. I think that's the biggest takeaway with me is like, I had to be perfect. I had to be that perfect mom, that perfect wife, that perfect everything, right?
Yeah.
Have a perfect career because that's how I was raised. I was supposed to be that. And crazy how I leaped into something else, kind of the compound effect. And now I'm into something else, which is like, so anyway, I am a Canadian actress and I live close to Toronto, which is the Hollywood of Canada. Luckily.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I knew the actress part, but I didn't know that that's the Hollywood of Canada.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of the productions that you watch on TV are taped here. Vancouver and Toronto are basically the biggest hubs of Canada for production. And luckily, it's only an hour drive from me. So it worked out. That's a weird one because I've never taken dramatic arts either. And I've never been in a play. I know. So everything's just like, okay, let's do it.
So how did you do that? So I get the story of how you just become a triathlete, like random, right? You just joined a club because your friend did it and it sounded like a good thing. How do you become an actress?
Facebook. I basically saw an ad on Facebook about if you wanted to start a business or buy a business. And at this point in our lives, because I didn't want to go back to pharmaceutical sales and, money once again, I've always been an entrepreneur. So I did have a few ideas of a business I wanted to start. So I thought, hey, I know those TV shows, they pay you to start up your business and stuff. So, I applied. Hey, they contacted me. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, right. And then I didn't know anything. I'm just like, okay, let's roll with this. They actually rejected us after our interview because we said something that, so the host of the show, she had joint ventures in a place that my husband works at. So they're like, no, if he talks bad about it, then that's bad. So they called me back. I was in Vegas actually at a nutrition conference.
Probably the same one.
Probably.
Right around the same time.
So I'm like sitting in the lobby ready to go out, and I see this call from Vegas and from Canada. I'm like, I'm not picking this up, man. That's roaming charges. So anyway, I picked it up, and it was the producer of the show. She's like, okay, we really like you. So like, can you just not say the name of the plant he works at? I'm like, okay, how come you didn't tell me this before? So a week later, I got back from convention. We started taping. It was like 8 days of like 14-hour days. It was intense. I loved it, every moment of it. And from there, my girlfriend, she was on Facebook. She was a agent for TV and movies. And I contacted her and I said, hey, I just did this thing. I have no clue what I did, but I loved it. Hook me up, get me into this. So she's like, okay. That's how it started. And it hasn't stopped. So I've been on so many productions, from, let's see here, Suits to a lot of paranormal shows. Me and my kids actually do this. So it's awesome bonding. See, I take my kids to work or they take me to work now. It's like, yeah, it's like I don't miss out.
Man, that goes right back to what you said in the beginning about fear. You know, when you just let it go. Wow. True story here. That this is the true, like you're seeing it in action. What happens when you just.
And it's only the beginning. You know, I say that every day I wake up, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do today?
Right. That's kind of fun. Like I always say, plan out your day, right?
Right.
Like who does you wake up and you're like, okay, what do I want my day to look like? Not necessarily plan it out like 8 o'clock. I'm gonna have my coffee and 8:15, I'm gonna go to the bathroom because that's what happens. But no, how do you want your day to be? What do you want to feel like? What is, are you going to be open to something new? Like plan it out, that emotional kind of side of it. So now so now we are in the 1 Mile leadership project together. I am on the documentary side. I'm on the film side. So I get like the crappy bus and the not luxury anything. Where Farah on the other side will be in the movie star coach bus and things. But she's also share with everybody what that is, what you're training for. I think I would rather take the crappy van and than what you're doing. Like it's more
wow. This is my next goal. This is like probably one of the biggest ventures. Here we go. Biggest ventures I've had athletically. So Mike Campbell contacted me on Facebook, grand old Facebook again. Yeah. You know what? Here, just connection, worldwide connection, and you don't even know. And somehow we're always connected too. It's just like, what? He contacted me and was like, hey, I like what you're doing. Let's, join. There's a group called 1 Mile. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, this is great. These are, a lot of powerful athletes, elite, pro, things like that. At this point, I'm also an elite triathlete, just because of the races and things that I've done. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what these great pros are doing, and I'll duplicate.
Yeah.
Facebook group. He messaged me, and then he, kind of built a relationship. And he said, hey, there's a race. It's called RAM. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm Canadian. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And he's like, I want you on it. I'm like, ooh, okay, let me look at it. What is it? It's Race Across America. It starts in Oceanside, California, and stops at Annapolis, Maryland. I'm like, oh, gosh, America. I love America. I'm like from Windsor originally. So I was basically raised American with Detroit being right across. Family, friends. I mean, that's just how it was. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is vibing with me completely. What's my qualification? What do I need to do?
How do I raise
What's the deal with this? So first he contacted me, and I was part of the crew, which was exciting because I'm like, man, America, I want to see this. I love America. Like I do. I'm really upset right now. I can't cross over, but get my Olive Garden, what have you. But yeah, I was like, okay, fine, because I always say yes.
Yeah.
I literally say yes to, see, this is also a key point. Say yes. Like say yes, and then, you know, kind of think about it later. I mean, you could always retract, and who cares what they think after. But say yes, don't miss up opportunity, because it probably is an opportunity if somebody's asking you, right? So yeah, so I am actually been upgraded to one of the riders. So there's 8 riders complete. And we are racing across America next year, June 2021, and training has commenced big time.
Yeah. So
And
people, this is what you do. It's like, it's constant. So like when she gets the luxury, you know, rock star, big bus like thing, because like she'll ride and then she'll come off and the next person rides. There's no hotel staying. It's and it's what, 5 days? Is it what is the goal?
We want to do it in 5 days, and I think we will, because we have some great, tough-minded individuals on the team.
Yeah.
I feel it is going to be 5. I do, in my heart, for sure. And I hope I keep my eyes open to actually see what America looks like at that point, because like it's going to be something. It's going to be something. I am the only Canadian on the team also. So I am learning so much from you guys. It's unreal, especially with, you know, the military, the veterans. Not to say we don't have that here, but you guys are a different world with that stuff. So like when I was on one of the first podcasts with, or Zoom meetings with one of the veterans in the group, my ears were just open. Like, I'm just like, oh, seriously, like, it's another world, and I'm like, I'm blown away, honestly.
It's constant. I mean, it's my world. I'm in it with, I have such great friendships that are constantly developing, and every day I'm like, wow, you know, and I learn so much about humanity and evolution and love, and it's just so I understand.
I hear you, and I feel like what you're doing, keep sharing the stories and keep it alive, because like, as we noted, there's a lot of veterans out there that, you know, kind of are sitting in the corner alone by themselves, and their story should have not stopped the way it did, you know, and it needs to be made there has to be awareness to their stories, to their lives. Now they are important, you know, they need help. They need help with their voices and financially, all that stuff. And see, I would have never known this until now, until listening and just absorbing it all.
Yeah,
so
being part of something so great. It's the collaboration and the love. That's all it is. It's collaboration and love, and then it just it ripples out of you into massive part of the world. And you know, I was thinking as you're talking about that, I'm like, wait a minute, there's 8 of your riders. There's only 3 of us on the documentary side. When the hell are we gonna sleep?
Who's sleeping?
So anyway, side note to myself that I got to figure that one out, because that's a big deal for me. And I got to do a couple little things. Brian, I will share the nutritional group with you. I will. It is, you are my man. You know, I take care of you. There's a couple people talking over there, but as we're coming to a close here, this is my last question for you. And I ask that you answer it with the first thing that comes to your heart, as I know you will. But Farah, in this moment right now, what does love mean to you?
Ooh, it means other people being happy. When I see other people fully fully into themselves, not in a wrong way, but when I see an actual person who is real, who is just complete, who wants to pour out into others, then I fall in love more, right? Then I'm like, wow, that's what love is. So now I feel it and I add to my love that I've been developing over the years.
I love that. I've never had that answer like that before.
Of
That
course
is
you didn't.
wow.
Me. It's right here. It's how it goes.
This is why you are you.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That is a good one. Everyone's answers always sit with me because I feel love is evolving and it's changing every moment. You know, you could answer that tomorrow and something else would come straight to your heart. So I love hearing these answers and sitting with them for a day. So thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for not letting fear stop you and being such an inspiration and a power to so many people that are secretly watching, because we don't know who's watching, but you don't let that change who you are, and you're not making your actions because of the people watching. They're coming from you, and that is powerful. So thank you so much.
I appreciate this beyond belief. It's amazing to connect with you, and who knew, right?
I
It's
know.
a small world.
It is. It's the big world that is so small. And to everybody else that is watching, remember, as always, love hard, love pure, and love proactive. Until next time, we will see you. Take care.